Hello students, I am Aniket Kirsch and we are on class 9 computer application. Today we are going to start unit 2. The name of the unit is cyber safety. So let's start. First of all, let us discuss what do you mean by the term cyber safety. Cyber means we have already heard this term cyber cafe, right? Like that of coffee cafe, cyber cafe is the place where we use internet. Okay, so cyber safety means when we are using internet, some kind of measures we should take to uh, have safety or security of our information. So we can define cyber safety as it is the safe and responsible use of internet so that we can ensure safety and security. Getting it is the cyber safety is the responsible use of internet so that we can ensure safety and security. Getting safety and security of what? Information, whatever confidential or important documents or files we have in our system, the security of that, right? Because in a internet means what? We have been connected to millions of computers. It is a very vast network, right? We are connected to millions of computers. So there's a chance of data leak, or you have already heard the term hacking. So hacking and virus, our files or data can be deleted or corrupted. So to ensure the safety and security of this, that all things we will study in this chapter, right? So let's start. So CBSE class 9 computer application, the subject code is 165, right? Unit 2, cyber safety. This unit will be divided, I will teach you in two parts. This is part 1 of that. So what is the objective of today's lecture? What is cyber safety? We will see what exactly is cyber safety. Then we will talk about identity protection while using internet, how our identity is leaked when we use internet, right? All these things we will see. Then proper usage of password, how to create passwords so that it cannot be leaked, right? uh, Next, outcome. What will be the outcome of this chapter, learning of this unit? Cyber safety, you know how to maintain cyber safety related to that terminologies and all. You will understand what all the measures we should take to have a secured connection. Ways to protect your identity, how can we protect our identity, how to choose a strong password, all what all things we should take have in our mind to create a strong password so that nobody can guess or trace, right? So let's start. What is cyber safety? What is cyber safety? Cyber safety is protecting oneself from computer crime, right? What are the computer crimes? What are the computer crimes? If if you are connecting it to a million of network of millions of computers, there may be a chance of what? Cyber crime. If you are entering, suppose you are if you log in your internet banking account, so if somehow your account details uh, will be accessed by somebody one else, then what will happen? He can transfer all your monies from your account to his account, right? So this is what. So we need security, we need some kind of measures so that nobody can access our confidential information, nobody will have our password, right? So that is the cyber safety. We have to secure our account in such a way so that nobody can access the details of it, like that of password and all, right? So what is cyber safety? Cyber safety or internet safety is protecting oneself from computer crime and reducing risk of security breaches to private and confidential information to the user, right? Security breach means breaking of the security. Your security should be in such a way so that you should be able to use the system or use the internet in such a way so that your confidential information cannot be accessed by anyone, right? So what all things we should do, that we will study. we can also define it as it refers to the safe and responsible use of internet, that use of internet, so that to ensure safety and security of personal information, right, and not posing threat to anyone else information. Getting safe and responsible use of internet. Okay, now what happens when you browse internet? What exactly happens? Suppose you are surfing any website, so what happens in that case? There are many ways through which which websites track you online. If you are surfing any website, that website which you are surfing, they track you, right? They track you. How they track? Using your IP address through your HTTP referral and cookies and tracking scripts, super is cookies, user agents. We will see all this one by one. What are these ways? What are these ways through which the websites track us, right? And we will see also see what are the measures to protect ourselves from from being tracked. So let's see. IP address. First one is the IP address. So what happens in case of IP address? What is exactly is IP address? When you are connecting to an internet, it is a very vast network. Millions of computers are there in this network. So what happens? Suppose in this real world, we have some address, right? Suppose we are anybody will post a letter to us, he will write the exact address of us, right? In the same way, in the field of internet or this network, millions of computers are there, but whatever the computer is connecting to the internet, they have one IP address. And if anybody is sending you a message in a network, they will send by default that message is transferring through using that IP address. Yes, it is having the address of your computer or the position of yours in a network. So it will deliver the email or something or whatever thing in the network using that IP address. Data are transmitted through IP address in a network, right? So it is a unique address, right? If two systems will have the same IP address in a network, then the messenger will be confused, right? That what is the exact address to which I have to send the information. So it is a unique address in a network on which the data through which the data is transmitted or the data are shared, right? So IP address, it is a unique address of your device on a network, right? Your computer shares an IP address with other network devices in your house or offices. If in your computer you are sharing the same modem in your two three devices, then they all will share the IP address also, right? Now, from your IP address, a website can determine your rough geographical location through your IP address. What happens? They will be able, the website you are visiting, suppose you are, for an example, I am telling, if you are visiting Amazon's website, you want to purchase something and you will visit Amazon's website. So what will happen? From that side, Amazon will understand that who is visiting our website. How they will know? From the IP address. To the IP address they will trace, okay, from this location somebody is visiting our website. They will not exactly know the exact address, but the area, location, such kind of things they will understand, right? From India, from like Chhattisgarh, from this place somebody is visiting our website, like this. Okay, so not down to street level, but generally your city or area. Like this, location can be traced using the IP address. You may have seen an advertisement that tries to look legitimate by mentioning your location. This is how the ads does it. You have seen, right? The advertisements, sometimes you visit any website and they will tell you the local, they will display the advertise using your location. They will tell your place. You are, you are visiting from this, something like that. Or the best, nearest hotel or the restaurant nearby to you. Such kind of message pop-ups, right? How this happens? This is because of this IP address. They know from which location you are surfing. Getting? Now next, cookies and tracking scripts. I hope you understood the concept of IP address, how the websites track you using the IP address, right? Now, cookies and tracking script. What is, you may be heard of this term cookie many times, right? You have seen in your system also, if you want to see the visited websites, whatever website you visited yesterday or day before yesterday, so what do? You go to the history option, right? History option of your browser, and there you can see what you have visited, in the last 2 days, 3 days, or week also. So what is this? How this the link of this visited websites are stored in your system? This is the concept of cookie, right? This is because of cookies. So cookies are small pieces of information website can store in your browser. Small pieces of information like that of your browsing history and all, right? They have plenty of legitimate uses. For example, when you sign into your online banking websites, a cookie remembers your login information. This also you have seen, right? When you visit any website and you log in, remember password, such kind of things, you have seen. So what happens with that? That is also because of the concept of cookie. They store your password, and all your user ID and password, so that next time when you log in, what happens, you are not supposed to write the password and user ID again. You can it will automatically display, right, by default, but in your system only, right, not from other system, obviously from your system. It will automatically show your user ID and password when you will visit the, suppose I will visit regularly, most frequently I use HDFC internet banking. So what happens, if I will use it today, I will open it today, and after 3 4 days, if I will open again, so it will automatically show the user ID and password. Obviously, password is that dotted denotion. Okay, but I can access. I am not supposed to write it again. Why? It will remember the password using the cookie. Getting? This is the concept of cookie. So again and again, if you are frequently using any website, so you are not supposed to write again and again the passwords, right? So that is the concept behind it. Okay. When you change, when you change a setting on a website, a cookie stores that setting so it can persist across page loads and sessions, right? Whatever settings you will change in the browser, that will persist across page loads and sessions, right? Whatever pages you are, loading again and again, or for whatever time, that will be what? Saved. Whatever changes you will do with the browser, it will automatically persist. Okay. Cookies can also identify you and track your browsing activity across a website. Cookies can also identify you and track your browsing activity, right? I told you about the history option, right? It is talking about that. And the cookie is not in your end only. You are a user, you visiting any website, so cookies at both the ends, right? They also understand who is visiting our website. We are visiting those websites, that will be tracked and stored in our cookie. In our history option, we can see. But in their end, the websites to which we are visiting, in their system also, they have the cookie in which they can see who all are visiting our websites, right? Next, cookies can be of this two types: first party cookie and third party cookie. First party cookie, what happens? These are the cookies that store your own login ID, password, autofill information, etc. For some websites you frequently use. We have already talked about it, right? Like that of internet banking and all. So these are the cookies in our what? Our system, which remembers the password of online banking or any websites to which we will log in. Okay, now what is third party cookie? These are the cookies that websites store to know about your search history, so as to place advertisement as per your interest. Like whatever websites we are visiting, they have also the cookie. Just I told you, right? That cookie is the third party cookie. Okay. Due to this only you get many unwanted advertisement on your web pages. You have seen whenever you browse, you get some unwanted advertisements, right? The how suppose you visited Amazon website today, and after 2 days, suppose you served, you purchased or you are surfing about some shirts or some clothes items, right? So after 2 days, when you will browse, you will automatically see the advertise from that website, right? That these new collections are there of these clothes items and all something like that. So how do you know? Because of your how? Cookies, right? Cookies, IP address, cookies, many concept I've told you. How the websites track you. Okay, that we are learning. Next, HTTP referral. HTTP referral means what? When you click a link, your browser loads the web page, right? You clicked and it tells the website where you came from. Obviously, when you click a link, your browser loads. Suppose you have seen when you open any website or you click on any link, that page is opened, right? That HTML page, we call it HTML page, right? That is opened, and that tells the browser from where the this user or visitor has right? For example, if you click a link to an outside website on a web page, then the linked website will get open, and the information such as your IP address, location, your browser, machine type, etc., will be provided internally. When you click any link, right? If you directly open any website writing the URL on the address bar, in that case also, and when you will in any website, if you click on any link, in that case also your details is automatically internally provided to them, like that of your IP address, location, your browser, your machine type, etc., etc., right? All this information goes to them. Okay, so that is known as the HTTP referral. Hypertext HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Now next is super cookie. What is super cookie? Super cookies store cookies data in multiple places. For example, in flash cookies, Silverlight storage, your browsing history, and HTML5 local storage. So what happens in your system if data, suppose any website is storing some kind of cookie in your system, so it is not placing in only one place. Super cookies means it is storing in multiple places. What happens in that case? Suppose you will delete from one place, so it will automatically trace, that website will automatically trace from the other cookie, right? So it is super cookies means the cookie data is placed in various multiple places in your system, like that of flash cookies, silver storage. These are the different places, right? And suppose the users generally delete the data from the history cookie only, your browsing history cookie only, right? So in that case, it will display or access the data or the cookie from details from the some other cookie, right? Like that of flash cookie or HTML5 local storage. When a website notices that you have deleted part of the super key, the information is repopulated from the other location that we are talking about, right? If you're in your system, if you delete the details from one, cookie details from one end or one part, the it will automatically access, or the information is repopulated from the other location as it is stored in multiple places. That is the super key. Okay, now for example, you might clear your browser cookie and not your flash cookies. So the website will copy the value of the flash cookie to your browser. That just I told you, right? Then you will clear your browser cookies, right? And not your flash cookies. So the website will copy the value of the flash cookies to your browser, right? Okay, now next, user agent. Your browser also sends a user agent every time you connect to a website. User agent, this tells website your browser and operating system. It is a different from this all we have studied, right? Like that of HTTP referral. In that case also we have studied that It sends our machine details, operating system details, browser details, everything. But user is agent is another kind of file, or you can see say another technology or thing through which your browser also sends a user agent every time you connect to a website. This is done by your browser, right? This tells website your browser and operating system, providing another piece of data that can be stored and used to target ads. Obviously, website is tracking you and getting your personal information. What they will use? Personal information in the sense your interest, right? So what is the use of that? Obviously, you're the target audience of them, right? They want to increase their business. They want to sell their products. So they will what? They will do the advertisements. Okay. So this all things, whatever we have seen, right, are the ways through which we the this all websites track you, right? These are all the things or the ways through which the websites track you. You are as a general user, you are just surfing, because nowadays without internet it is not possible to survive, right? So what you do, you're surfing the websites and all, but after some time they will start advertising you, and you feel irritated, right? The nonsense means unwanted advertisements pop up on your screen and all. So to what is the solution for that? If any website is tracking you, is having using all these technologies like that of cookies and HTTP referral and all this. So they are knowing your IP address, everything. So what is the solution for that? Is there any way to come out of it so that they will not know who is visiting their website and all? So we are going to see that thing only, right? In next in this private browsing and anonymous browsing, we will see that only. So what happens in this case of private browsing or anonymous browsing? To visit any to have such browsers to visit in such a way anywhere, to visit any website in such a way so that they will not understand who is visiting. So there are some ways, right, that we are going to see now. Let's see. Private browsing and anonymous browsing, right? So what is, first of all, let's see what is anonymous browsing. In this, what happened, it lets user access websites unanonymously, right? Anonymously. So it lets user access websites anonymously, means they will not know who is accessing. It allows users to view websites without revealing any personal information like address, IP address and all. So there are some browsers in which the setting is like that, so that whatever websites you will visit using that browser, the website will not know who is visiting. They will not, they cannot see the IP address, right? There are some settings on that browser, like DuckDuckGo. The DuckDuckGo is a kind of that website only. Okay. So in such things, what happens? The website will not know the IP address and all, but it doesn't mean that nobody will know whatever you are doing on using that browser. Nobody can track you. ISP, Internet Service Provider, like all those companies who provide the internet services like Airtel, Vodafone, BSNL. So these are the ISPs, right? They will, whatever ISP you are using, they will definitely know, right, your IP address, from which IP address to which IP address messages transferring or data is accessing, right? Suppose you are visiting any website, the ISP will know from, okay, from this website has from this IP address, this website has been visited. So all those datas are, and this IP address belongs to this particular area or this particular system, right? This all are, can be tracked by the ISPs, right? But the website to which you are visiting using using the anonymous browser, they will not know that who exactly the IP address of the system from where the user is visiting. Okay, So this is only in case of, in case of websites, not for the ISPs we are talking, right? ISP will definitely know. Okay. Now, so it can be used as a tool for governments, journalists, and everyday security conscious surfers. So, like this, as the government users, government employees, and journalists, they have very confidential data in their systems. So, what they do, they generally use the anonymous browsers, right? So that the whatever websites they are surfing, they will not know, and they cannot access or can further misuse their, you know, uh, confidential informations, right? Now, next, after anonymous browsing, let's see what is private browsing. Okay, incognito browsing. What is incognito browsing? What is proxy? What is virtual private network? All these things are what? Private browsing. So what happens in incognito browsing? Incognito is a technique in any browsers. They provide the facility of incognito. Means you will be, kept secret. So some settings are there in Google Chrome, in latest, version of the Google Chrome browser. Also, you can have this facility. In the menu section of the browser, you can select in the menu section, you can select the incognito mode, and after activating it, whatever websites you will visit, the website will not know your IP address and other details, right? Uh, means in incognito browsing, actually the things which exactly happens, even your system will not keep the record of your visiting websites, right? We are not talk about the third party, that is the websites. In incognito mode, we will talk about our system. Okay, suppose you are using the public system, right? Public system means you are using the system from any cyber cafe, and you will, open any kind of website or something, and suppose you are accessing that website using after activating the browsing incognito mode. So what happens? The history section of your cookie, your cookie in your that system will not store the visited websites. So after leaving that cyber cafe, if anybody will see your visited website, he will not know what all websites you have visited, right? That is the use of incognito browsing. Let's see. Incognito browsing opens up a version of browser that will not track your activity. It is useful if you enter sensitive data like bank details, that it can be minimize the risk of your information being saved to that computer. Okay. Uh, you can easily get this option in incognito mode in your browser, right? In the menu section. Third option, near the third option in the Google Chrome, you will see it, right? And this is for your system. We will not think of it in case of the website. We are talking about our system, right? The user's system. Now, next, what is proxy? It acts as a middleman between your computer and the website you are visiting. Suppose we have seen, I think you are familiar with this term proxy, right? Proxy means what happens when you suppose you are in a school, and your school has blocked some particular website that you cannot open it. It will not open in your system. They have blocked it. So what you can do, you can use the proxy servers or proxy websites through which you can access that website, right? Suppose, let me tell you one example. You are the not some particular website of America has been blocked in your school, so you will not be able to open that website. But some particular some proxy websites of America, which is allowed in India, you can access that proxy websites, right? And that proxy websites can open that website, that they can allow you to open that website also. So you can from here, from your school, that suppose that particular American website has been blocked in your school, you can access that proxy websites of America, and using that you can open that particular website also which is blocked in your school. Getting this is known as the proxy. The tracking website will get the IP address and information that belongs to proxy sites, right? The tracking website will get the IP address and information that belongs to proxy site. Okay. So when you are opening the particular that American website, so that website will also get the IP address of not your system. They will get the IP address of that proxy system, proxy server, or proxy website. Getting? Because you are accessing that website through that proxy server or proxy website. So it is a middleman. You are accessing that website using this middleman, this middle website, and the person at the other end will understand that okay, he's visiting. In actual, but you are visiting, right? Next, as you can see in this picture, you are here proxy server and internet. So you are accessing the internet or opening any website if you are using the proxy server. So what happens? Whatever, suppose you are accessing www.google.com using the proxy server. So what will happen? The google.com, this website will think that the person who is visiting is this proxy server. He will get the IP address of this 2.2.2 something like this, whatever is the IP address of this proxy server. Got it? Now next, virtual private network. You have heard this term also, right? Nowadays, in this lockdown period, most of the IT companies are working work from home, right? And they are using virtual private network. So it allows you to create a secure connection to another network over the internet, right? Secure connection. You are using the internet. All their employees, the companies of all, suppose let's talk about some particular company like that of TCS, Tata Consultancy Services. This is the name. The employees of these companies are working from home, right? But they are working, they are using the internet. They are working using the internet, but in that internet also, they have virtual private network. So whatever work they are doing, they are using public interface, that is the internet, but they are working privately. So whatever data they are sending or working, they all are travel in the form of tunnel, you can say, or in the encrypted form, right? Encrypted means nobody will understand in between the meaning of that, all those data and all. Nobody can access. One tunnel will be created between this employees of this company, and no any unauthorized user can or person can access those data, right? So VPNs can be used to access regions restricted websites, shield your browsing activity from prying eyes on public Wi-Fi and more, right? No any other authorized user can access all these data. It is often used by corporations to protect sensitive data. Obviously, I told you all the IT companies are using this virtual private network so that their confidential information cannot be leaked. Okay, as you can see here, you and the internet using the virtual private network, hackers and snoopers, all this kind of persons cannot access your confidential information. That's why this channel has been created, or this in public you are working privately, right? Now, this is the last topic, proper usage of password. Whatever password you are creating, what you must know if you are creating a password. Suppose in your internet banking account, you have created one password, right? Or in your Gmail, let's talk about Gmail, Google account. So what happens? You create a password, right? So password, you have to create password in such a way so that nobody can guess it. Okay, nobody can guess it. The password should be very strong. Okay, so what all things we should keep in our mind when we create password? Let's see. First, let us see what things can be done right? We will see usage of password, right? How to create a strong password. But before, let us see, your password may be cracked. Your password, for on the basis of that only we will create a password, right? First, let us know how the person can crack your password. First is brute force attack. What is brute force attack? And phishing and data breach. Let us see. Brute force attack. A brute force attack uses trial and error to guess login information and encryption keys, right? In case of brute force keys, brute force attack, what happens? Any person who knows you, right? He can, hit and trial method, trial and error. He will guess and try. He will guess and try. Suppose any website will allow 5 times the wrong password. Then today he will, in 24 hours, pass 5 times it will allow for wrong. So he will, today also he will try 5 times, again tomorrow also 5 times, day after tomorrow also 5 times. Like this, he will trial and error, right? So what is this? This is known as the brute force attack. Brute force yani 100% he's trying, forcefully he is trying to crack the password. Okay, hackers work through all possible combinations hoping to guess correctly, right? And hackers are expert in this. They analyze the person in such a way so that they can uh, guess the password. Now, these attacks are done by brute force, meaning they use excessive forceful attempts to try and force their way in your private account. These attacks are done by brute force. I told you, brute force meaning they use excessive forcefully. Means they are putting their 100% to guess the password, right? Now, next is phishing. What is phishing? Phishing is a technique used to trick a user into revealing their login information. Phishing, let me give you one example. Suppose you will get an email, and one attachment is there with that email. And when you click on that attachment, all your confidential information will be transferred to that person, right? Will be transferred automatically to the other end. So what is this? This is a kind of phishing, right? I hope you are understanding, right? So, if any attachment is there and if you click on that, your data will be transferred, your information will be transferred. That is phishing. Okay. This can be done through an email attachment, an unsafe link, or even through hardware being connected to the user's device, right? So these are the ways through which phishing is done. You will, your data by mistake, if you click on any any kind of such links, and your data will be transferred, your confidential information will be transferred, right? This is phishing. And what is data breach? You have heard of, very big organization, they have lot of users, log into their account. They sell their datas, they sell their datas. That is also a data breach. And sometimes what happens, whatever the in many organizations, what happens, their data is all held. That is, in that case also data breach happens, right? Maybe they sell or their data are hacked. In both the cases, your data will be, breached. Getting? A data breach is intentionally or unintentionally release of secure private confidential information to an untrusted environment. Getting? Untrusted environment. So what happens? Like like any very reputed websites, you have login, you will you are purchasing something, and they will sell your data to some other company, and they will do the marketing on your using your name, or you will they will display the pop-up message on your systems, or they will send you the email. What all these things they are sharing, right? Means these are what data breach. This is known as the data breach. Okay. Now, choosing a strong password. Let's see, choosing a strong password. So what all things are required to choose a choose a strong password? Let's see. So whenever we create any password for your via online banking or in your system also, right? Whenever we create password, what happens? We should make it in such a way so that nobody can guess, nobody can access, right? So choosing a strong password, use a in whenever you will create any password, use a combination of capital as well as small letters, right? Uppercase or lowercase, we call it capital letters as uppercase, small letters as lowercase. So your password should be combination of uppercase and lowercase both, right? And then use numbers and special characters also. Okay. And secondary, it should be a long one, longer password. Minimum, you have always, whenever you visit an website and you are required to create a password, it always asks you to create a minimum 8 or 9 characters, right? 8 or 9 characters, minimum characters should be there in your password. Such, whenever you will create, such things are asked generally. So why they ask this? So that your password will be strong, right? So first is it should contain uppercase, lowercase, special symbols, numbers, alphanumeric, and symbols should be there. Okay. Next, it should be lengthy. It should be long, minimum 8 to 9 characters. Third, no personal information means what? Never write your name, your date of birth, your mobile number, your father name. Don't write such things on your password. Otherwise, the person who knows you can easily guess, right? So use passphrases to remember complex password. Passphrases means which you can guess, right? Passphrases kind of things, so that the other person cannot guess it, right? Use different passwords on different systems and account. Suppose you are having one, password in your Gmail, and if you are creating an account on some other website, you are using the same password, and if that website is a fake one, they will know your password for that particular website, then they will try it in your Gmail also, and it will be cracked. So never repeat the password, never use the same passwords for different interfaces or different websites. Okay. Don't use words that can be found in any dictionary of any language. Okay. Don't use particular word or something like that with numbers also. Don't write any name or something like whatever is there in the dictionary. It will make your password more strong. Suppose, let's take an example: capital F, small j, 137, capital K, then uh, hash symbol or the at the rate symbol, something like this. It will be a very strong password. Nobody can guess it. So the password should be like that. Never write your phone number, date of birth, something you like this personal information as your pass. Don't set such things as your password. It can be easily guessed, right? So I hope you understood all these things, right? And the other parts of this unit we will see in our next part. Okay, in that we will see all those viruses and all, how such things happens, how it can damage your system and all. So I hope this all these things whatever we studied today is clear to you. That's it for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.